Having to get prior authorization for medical services is really nothing new in America, but are Medicare Advantage organizations abusing this tool? Hi, I'm Larry Goist, owner of LMS Insurance Group, where we help seniors navigate the Medicare maze. So in today's short video, I'm telling you guys all about prior authorizations on Part C Medicare Advantage plans. And really, I'm going to go over 4 real basic topics. So number 1, I'm going to tell you why this topic is so important. Number 2, I'm going to explain exactly what prior authorizations are. Thirdly, I'm going to break down the data on what percentage of prior authorizations are declined on Part C plans. And then fourthly, I'm going to tell you some other minor considerations, and that's all coming up next. Okay, so why does this topic even matter? Well, in 2024, of all people enrolled in Medicare, 54% are enrolled in Part C Medicare Advantage plans. And of that group, over 99% of those plans require prior authorization. So this is a topic that has become very polarizing, I would even say sensationalized over the last decade, where people that are turning 65 and they're shopping for Medicare plans, they really don't know what to believe. Now, I thought it was important to use not opinions, not my clients' stories or opinions, but to actually use hard data to explain to you how frequent this happens on Part C Medicare Advantage plans. Okay, so what even is a prior authorization? So a prior authorization is a process that requires healthcare providers to get approval from a health insurance plan before providing a service to a patient. So it's basically just getting pre-approval from the insurance company to do a particular service. Now, it's important to note that prior authorizations are not done by you, the Medicare beneficiary. It is done by your doctor, their medical staff, and their entire clinical staff. That is the one that is responsible, or they are the ones that are responsible for submitting prior authorization requests and handling these approvals and these denials. So you're typically going to need to get prior authorizations for the more expensive services, for things like inpatient hospital stays, skilled nursing facilities for rehab, durable medical equipment, diagnostic testing. And I'm even going to put a link in the description below from the Kaiser Family Foundation that really spells out what things and what percentages are prior authorized. Okay, so what total percent of prior authorizations are actually denied? Well, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, about 5% of prior authorizations were declined in 2019, 2020, and 21. And we saw a slight uptick in this in 2022, where it's now about 7.4% of prior approvals are actually declined. And this is all from the Kaiser Family Foundation, and they're using data from the federal government. So in essence, you could think of it as 7 out of every 100 prior approvals or prior authorizations got a thumbs down in the year 2022. The insurer said, no, this service is not approved. But that certainly does not tell the entire story. Okay, so that is part of the data. The Kaiser Family Foundation is telling you that 7.4% of prior authorizations are declined. However, if you were to appeal that decision, they found that 83% of the appeals were overturned on the first appeal. So let's do the math. If we have a pie of 100% and 7.4% are declined, okay? And then we take that group, that 7.4% of declines, if 83% of those are actually approved, if you do the math, you have a 1.26% chance to truly have a denial. Because yes, out of the group, 7% were denied, but if you just appealed, 4 out of 5 were overturned on the first appeal. So if you use the most recent data available by the federal government, what they are showing is that statistically you have about a 1.26% chance to truly have a denial. Okay, now there are a couple other things to consider because I don't want to be dishonest. So 83% of the appeal decisions were overturned. But the problem is only 1 out of 10 of the prior authorizations are actually being appealed. So if everybody appealed, then yes, there's a 1.26% chance statistically of having a decline, but everybody is not appealing the decisions. In fact, it is quite the opposite, that 9 out of 10 don't even make an appeal. And then I also want to note that if you have to get a prior authorization and then perhaps even appeal the decision, that certainly could add time, right? It could add time into the equation. And perhaps you don't have time, right? You need this service immediately. It's something that, you've been waiting on. So I completely understand how adding time to a decision could be an issue, even if it is not truly declined. Just having the time in there could be a problem for certain Medicare beneficiaries. So guys, as a Medicare broker, it is not my goal to persuade people into or out of Medicare Advantage plans. My goal is to provide real data so that my clients and the people turning 65 coming into my office, they know the way these things really work, and then they can make their own decision on whether that's a chance they want to take or whether that's a chance they don't want to take. But so often I hear from people that their pharmacist, their doctor, their physician's assistant, or the lady working at the doctor office told them how horrible a Part C Advantage plan is. And again, my goal is that you just know the real data. And the real data, don't take my word for it. The article is linked in the description below. About 7 out of 100 prior authorizations are declined. And of those that were appealed, 83% are approved on the first appeal. So again, if you never want to have a chance ever of a prior authorization, well then don't do a Medicare Advantage plan. If you're okay knowing that there's a small chance that a prior authorization may be declined, then a Part C plan might be for you. But I think it's important that you know all the facts, you know all the data, and you're not just hearing one side of the story. And that's what we're here for at LMS Insurance Group. So if you need any information on Part C plans, Medigaps, prior authorizations, or just how this stuff works, please use the information on the screen below, as me or a licensed specialist in my office would love to assist. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Larry Goist, LMS Insurance Group.